Hi everyone, and welcome to your 45-minute Pilates Flow class. So let's get started on our mat, facing the side, legs right underneath your hips. So just find that nice standing Pilates posture. So think about your weight is not all the way back in your heels. Your weight is slightly forward, and you can easily pick up your heels, you can easily pick up your toes, and shift your weight forward and back. So just start by shifting your weight forward and back a few times, and then find that nice centered posture. Nice big inhale, bend your knees, reach your arms up and overhead. Exhale to release and start to roll it down one vertebrae at a time. So start by tucking your chin, peeling all the way down. If you're not very fond of a roll down, you can always hinge from your hips and think about walking your hands down your thighs in more of a neutral spinal position. So a couple options here. I'm gonna roll it down so that way you can see what it looks like as you roll down one vertebrae at a time. And then reach your hands down onto the mat. Bend your knees as much or as little as you need to in order to touch the mat. Walk your hands out now to a nice downward dog position, lifting your hips up high. Let your heels just gently press down towards the mat. Try not to force the movement. Keep lifting your hips up high, hollowing out your belly. A nice big inhale through your nose. Exhale out through your mouth. A couple more just like this. One more breath. Nice big inhale. Exhale, breathe it out. Step one leg through, so you're going into a lunge. Keeping your chest open, lift on up, so shoulders stacked over your hips, reach your arms up and overhead, nice big inhale. Exhale, release back down, placing your hands on the mat. Bring your foot back, so now lifting your hips back into that downward dog position. A couple more breaths here. One more breath. Nice big inhale through your nose. Exhale out through your mouth. Step your opposite leg through into that lunge, knee over your ankle. Start to lift your chest, keeping your hips stable. Reach your arms up and overhead. Exhale to release back down. Placing your hands on the mat, come back into that downward dog position. Lift the hips up high. And just focus on your breath. Weight is back into your heels, so shifting your weight back into your legs. That way you're not straining your upper body. One more breath here. Nice big inhale and exhale. Walk your hands back towards your feet into that forward fold. So lifting the hips high, letting your body gently fold in half. So you can bend your knees as much as you need to. Now bend your knees a little bit, roll it on up, or walk your hands up your thighs in that neutral spinal position. Come all the way up to a stand, reach your arms up and overhead again. Nice big inhale. Exhale to release. Let's roll it down again, or walk your hands down your thighs. Think one vertebrae at a time, reaching down into that forward fold position. Really think about tilting your pelvis so that way your tailbone is going up towards the ceiling. You're hollowing out your belly. If you need to bend your knees a little bit to get that hamstring stretch, go for it. Otherwise, try to lengthen through your legs to get a deeper stretch. One more breath here. Walk your hands out to that downward dog position, lifting your hips up nice and high. Again, weight is back into your heels, lifting the hips high. One more breath. And now step one leg through, so you're going into that lunge. Pressing through your feet, reach your arms up and overhead. Nice big inhale. Exhale to release. Hands go down on the mat again. Knee over your ankle. Downward dog. Lift your hips up nice and high. Nice big inhale through your nose. Exhale out through your mouth. 2 more deep breaths. Last one. Step your opposite leg through. Find your lunge first. So pressing through your front leg, engaging through your glutes as you reach your arms up and overhead. Nice big inhale. Exhale to release. Place your hands down on the mat. Downward dog again. Lifting the hips up nice and high. Letting the heels press down into the mat so you get that nice stretch. One more breath. And then you can walk your hands back towards your feet. Bend your knees and just gently roll it on up. Think 1 vertebrae at a time until your head is the last thing to come back up. Reach your arms up and overhead again. Exhale to release. We're going to do this 1 more time. So either rolling it down 1 vertebrae at a time, or you can walk your hands down your thighs in that nice neutral spinal position. So it's up to you. So peeling it on down, finding that length through your back, reaching down towards the mat. Lift the hips up nice and high. This is a time to really connect with your body. So pay attention to your breath. Focus on these subtle movements. So the position of your feet. Focus on lifting the hips up high. Try to lengthen through your legs so you get that deeper stretch. 2 more deep breaths just in this forward fold. And then you can walk your hands out to that downward dog position. Keep lifting the hips up high. You can always shift your weight back. So you can always walk your hands back so you get a deeper connection through your lower body. So that way your upper body doesn't have any strain. Nice big exhale out. Step 1 leg through into that lunge position. Hips are nice and level. Reach your arms up and overhead. Nice big inhale. Exhale to release all the way back down. Bring your feet together back into downward dog. 3 breaths. So nice big inhale through your nose. Exhale out through your mouth. Step your opposite leg through. Find that lunge. Reach your arms up and overhead. Nice big inhale. Exhale to release. Again, feet together. Hips are high for downward dog. One more breath here. Walk your hands back towards your feet, bend your knees if you need to, and either roll it on up or walk your hands up your thigh into that nice neutral spinal position. Coming up to a full stand, reach your arms up and overhead, and then release them down by your sides. Okay, so now just taking 1 leg forward, we're going into a lunge position. So focus on lengthening through both of your legs first. That back heel is lifted. Hands go behind your head. Bend both of your knees, so lowering down and then up. Now you have a hinge, think from your hips here, keeping them level. You're gonna hinge and lean forward. Be careful that you're not rounding through your back. You wanna lengthen through your spine and only lower down to that challenging point and then lift back up again. So you have 2 movements here. Again, lowering down into your lunge and lift. Now hinge and then lift on up again. So with this movement, as you hinge forward, you're still stabilizing through your hips, your glutes, and your back muscles. Again, lower and lift. Taking it down and up, and press, lower, lift. Finding that challenging spot for you, so that way you're engaging through your lower body, and then you're focusing on stabilizing through your trunk and your core as you lean down and up. Hinge and lift. And press. 2 more. Lower and lift. 1 more. Now stepping your back leg through, lower your arms down by your sides. Let's switch it out. So taking that opposite leg back. Your heel is lifted, hands go behind your head, lower down into your lunge, bending both of your knees, lengthen nice and long. Hinge it forward and lift on up. So you want to feel that connection of belly button to spine here, and then hinge and lift. Again, down and up, and again, lower, lift, reach, taking it down and up, and press, and lengthen. Finding that challenging point where you're working through both of your legs without adding any strain. 3 more here. This is 2, and lift. 1 more here, lower and lift. Reach it forward and come on up. Stepping it through, taking your legs underneath your hips, reach your arms up and overhead. Exhale to release, step out to the side. So now you're going into your squats. Toes are slightly turned out. So think about this actions happening from your hips. So toes are slightly out to the corners, edges of your mat. Lower down into your squat and then come all the way back up. So as you lift up to that stand, you're engaging through your glutes. You're engaging through your thighs here. Lower and lift. Keeping that chest nice and open. Down and up. Lower and lift. 5 more. 5. Press. 4. 3. 2. Now on this last one, stay low here. Keep the chest open. You want to feel that spiraling action of your thigh muscles. So they're wrapping up and around towards your hips. Stay low. Pulse it down. Little presses. You have 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Lift it all the way on up. Now turning to face the side again. Legs underneath your hips. Reach your arms up and overhead. Exhale to release, roll it down, or you can walk your hands down your thighs in that nice neutral spinal position, reaching your hands down towards the mat. Walk your feet out towards your plank position. So a couple options. You can lower down onto your knees for a half plank. You can always lower down onto your forearms for a forearm plank if your wrists tend to be really sensitive to a full plank position. You can also do a wall plank if that helps you engage your abdominals a little bit more and take pressure off of your spine. So pressing away from the mat or from the wall, you're holding it here, and you want to think about that deeper connection of belly button to spine, shoulders over your wrists for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Lower down onto your knees, separate them. Send your weight back onto your heels, going into child's pose. 1 more breath. Lift it on up to all fours. So now shoulders over your shoulders over your wrists, hips over your knees. that'd be really interesting if you had your shoulders over your knees. Very impressive. So we're gonna make sure that we're in this all four position where you're really pressing away from the mat, finding the length through your spine. And now take just one leg back. So you're finding that length through your leg. Immediately you wanna feel that connection of your hips staying nice and level. Now just rock through your heel, pressing it away, and then come back to center. So as you press back on the ball of your foot, you want to think about getting a nice stretch through your calf without overexerting this. So you don't want to stretch so much that you're causing too much pressure or pain. It should feel really nice, like you're getting this nice calf stretch and then you're coming back to center. At the same time, you're engaging through your abdominals, taking it back and then center and press. 5 more here. 4, 3, 2, 1 more. Now we're gonna add on a movement. So going into your heel stretch, back, take it center. Now lift your knee up and down. Another option is to tuck your toes, so that way you're just letting the knee hover and then lower down. Otherwise, you can lift your whole leg off the mat. It's up to you. So shifting your weight back, center, lift and lower. Again, back and center, lift, back and center, and press. So really focusing on keeping your shoulders and your hips leveled here. Working deeper through your core, closer towards your spine. This is 5. And lift. 4. 3. 2. 1 more here. Lift and release back down. Nice work. So now lowering your knees, finding that all fours position. Let's switch it out. So now you have the opposite side. Just start with that heel stretch, getting that nice stretch through your calf and coming back to center. So your shoulders are going to shift away from your wrist slightly, stretching through your calf and keeping the hips nice and level. So I'm engaging my glutes just a little bit here, and that helps to steady the hips. Again, back and then center. 5 more. 5. Press. 4. 3. 2. Last one. Now we're going to add that knee hover in. So stretching through your heel, come back to center. Now you can either just lift the knee off the mat or tuck your toes, lift the knee up slightly and lower back down. So it's up to you. Shifting your weight back, center, lift and lower. Again, back, center, lift. So your upper body should be a little bit more fatigued. Since we did the same movement on the other side, if you need to take a break and then hop back in when you're ready, you're more than welcome to do that. Lift and lower. This is 4. Press. 3. 2. Last one. Lift and release back down. So separating your knees, sit back on your heels. You can rotate so your palms face up for child's pose and just reach it back nice and long. Two more deep breaths. Come back up to all fours. This time we're going to lower down onto our forearms. You can also do this next movement with a weight behind your knee. So you're hugging onto it by bringing that heel closer towards your bottom. Keeping your chest open, raise your heel up towards the ceiling and then lower back down. So you're working through your glutes, you're working through your hips here. Lift up and down. Keep pressing away from the mat with your forearms. Lift and lower. 5 more. 5, 4, 3, 2. On this last one, lift and hold at the top. Finding that length through your spine. Now lower your knee down an inch and up an inch. So you're working through a smaller range of motion here. Keeping your opposite hip over your knee and press. You've got this. Lift and lower. Reach. This is 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Release back down. Now taking your leg directly out to the side. Lift and lower. So your knee may not go all the way up to that 90-degree position, and that's okay. You really want to focus on your opposite hip staying stable with this movement. Lift and lower. Three more. 3, 2, and 1. Bring it all the way in. Now open up from your hip in that external rotation. So your heel is going to the opposite wall slightly, or you can think about crossing your top knee over your base knee. That will help too. Lift and lower. And again, press and reach and lift. This is 5, 4, 3, 2. On this last one, we're gonna hold it on the top, on the side. You can flex your foot, you can point it, it's up to you. Little pulses, lifting it up an inch and down an inch. So smaller range of motion here. Lift and reach, feeling that nice burn through your hips and your glutes. 2 more. 2 and 1. Release back down. Lift on up. Grab that weight if you used it. We're going to do the same thing now, but on the opposite side. So knee is that area where your weight just sits in. So right behind the back of your knee. Flex your foot and bring your heel in slightly so you can hug onto it so it doesn't move. And now drive your heel up towards the ceiling and lower back down. Little shakes are good. If you're shaking a lot, give yourself a break or remove that weight so that way you do not over fatigue those muscles here. Again, lift and press and lower. Keep driving that heel up towards the ceiling. 3 more. 3, 2. On this last one, hold at the top. Really press away from the mat. Lower your knee down an inch and up an inch. So working deeper into your hips, into your glutes a little bit more. And lift. 5 more. This is 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Release back down. So now taking your leg out to the side, lift and lower. So think 90-degree position here or lower. So typically you're gonna have your knee lower than that 90 degrees because if you do that, so watch as I lift my knee up, my hip is gonna go out to the side. I wanna stay nice and stable, so I'm gonna keep my knee a little bit lower. Lift and press. Keep pressing away from the mat with your upper body. 3 more. 3, 2, and 1. Release all the way down. Now knees can be stacked on top, opening up from your opposite hip. Lift your leg to the diagonal and lower back down. You can either flex or point through your foot, it's up to you. And reach. 3 more here. 3, 2. On the last one, hold at the top, lower your knee down an inch and up an inch. So the action is happening from your hip here, working through your hip, working through your glute. 5 more. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Release all the way back down. Take that weight, place it out to the side. And now you can just sit back on your heels, separate your knees. You can stay in this position and reach your arms up and overhead. Or if you want to walk your hands forward into that child's pose and just rest your forehead on the mat, you can do that as well. So nice big inhale. Exhale to release. 1 more. So now turning to face the side, we have a little bit of upper body and lower body action. So making sure you have one weight handy. Extend your leg out to the side. So if this is going to bother your knee, you can either roll up your mat or you can come up to a standing position, extending your leg out to the side, or you can lean on a chair for a little bit of extra support. So placing your hand on the mat, find the length in your spine, grab onto this weight for rows, lift and lower, keeping that chest open, keeping your hip over your knee, and press. You want to be careful that you're not bending your wrist one direction or the other with this. You're lifting straight on up and press. 5 more here. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now extend your arm down. You'll get a little bit more upper thoracic, so think upper back rotation with this next move. So reaching down with a straight arm, you're gonna open and lift on up. And with this movement, you're opening up your chest. Now lower back down with control. Nice big inhale, exhale to lift. Again, lower and lift, taking it down and up. And press. 3 more. 3, reach, 2. On this last one, hold at the top, little tricep presses, bend and extend. Now, if you'd like, you can add a leg lift with this and press on up. So extending your arm and your leg at the same time, down and up. Lower and lift. 5 more here. This is 3, 2, last one, and release all the way back down. So if you're in standing, come meet me on the mat. You'll lower it down onto your forearm, keeping your hips stacked right on top of each other. So be careful that you're not rolling that hip forward or too far back. Bending your base leg for support, lift your top leg, and circle your leg forward, up, back, and around. Nice circle here. Again, finding that length through your spine. If you need to rest your head and your neck, you can always place your head and rest it on your hand and press. This is 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now let's reverse the circle. So you're taking it back first, back, up, forward, and around. Trying to draw that same size circle every single time here. And press. You have 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Now keep your leg lengthened out to the side. Flex your foot, and now little pulses up, little presses. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Release your foot down onto the mat. So we're going into a side plank next. So if you'd like a little extra support, keep your leg bent. You can always keep your hand in front. Press your hips up and down. Or you can also lift up and hold it here. Or you can lower down in between the movement. Another option is to extend both of your legs and lift your hips on up. So you're taking your hand behind your head, you're rotating through your spine, lower the elbow, and then open. So if you're going into that half plank position on your side, it's going to look like this. Or you can lower your hips all the way down and then lift and press and come on up. So this is option 1. This is option 2, where you're staying lifted. Option 3 is both legs are extended, lower and lift, and press, and reach. 4 more here. Engage through those glutes, and press 1 more, and release all the way back down. Okay, so now we have the other side, so grab your weight, and then you can either come up to a standing position or come onto your knees. Extend your leg out to the side, reach your arm down towards the mat, and start with your rows. Lift and lower, keeping that chest nice and open here, drawing that elbow up towards the ceiling. Again, lift and lower. And press. This is 5, 4, 3, 2. Last one, now extend your arm down towards the mat. So be careful that you're not collapsing through your back. You're getting a little bit of that rotation through your spine. Open and extend your arm up towards the ceiling and then lower back down with control. Again, lift and press and take it back down. So you get that nice chest opener. At the same time, you're finding the strength through your shoulder here. Again, lift and lower. Again, reach and lower. Three more. 3, 2. On this last one, hold at the top, lengthen through your arm, bend from your elbow, and extend. You can always add a leg lift at the same time. So now you're working through your lower body and upper body together, and press. Bend and reach. 4 more here. Keep pressing away from the mat. 2. Last one. And release all the way back down. Now taking a seat on the mat. So now if you're from that standing position, come back down on the mat. Your bottom leg is bent, top leg is straight, and your hips are stacked right on top of each other. You can always rest your head on your hand. If that feels a little bit better, lift your leg, circle it forward, up, back and around. So nice circles here. You can keep your hand in front or you can place it on your hip. It's up to you. And again, reach. This is 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Now reverse it. You can take your leg back up and around. Keep finding that length and finding that lift out of your side body. 5 more here. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Now keep your leg fully extended. Flex your foot, little pulses up, little presses for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Release your foot down onto the mat. So this is where you have a few options for your side plank. You can either lift and lower with your hips. So if your hand's behind your head, you're gonna lower your elbow down as you lower your hips, and then lift and open up your chest. You can also stay lifted the whole time through your hips as you lower and lift the elbow, or you can extend both of your legs out into that side plank, lower and lift. So find your starting position. Here we go. Down and up. Focusing on your breath here. 3 more. 3. Reach. 2. Last one. And release all the way back down. So turning to face the side, you can grab your weights and just place them out to the side. Start towards the front edge of your mat with your knees bent and your feet out towards the corner edges. Reach your arms forward. Start with a roll down. So automatically start with that pelvic tilt where you draw in your lower abdominals. Roll it down 1 vertebrae at a time. And now you can extend your legs fully as you reach your arms back by your ears. Nice big inhale. Exhale, tuck your chin. You can start to bend your knees and roll it all the way back up. Again, nice big inhale. Exhale, curl that pelvis under. So lower abdominals zip up and in right away. Reach all the way back by your ears with your upper body. Nice big inhale. Exhale, tuck your chin. Roll it all the way back up. Again, nice big inhale. Exhale to peel it down. Reaching all the way back. Nice big inhale. And exhale to peel it all the way back up again. So sitting up nice and tall, opening up your chest. You can do this a couple ways. So you can do this with a little bit more of a curled pelvis. So you're gonna get a little bit more of that rounded spine, or you can stay in a neutral spine. Both are fine. It's really about how you connect with your lower abdominals and what feels good on your back. So if you tend to have osteopenia or issues, or if you know you have osteopenia or osteoporosis, maintain that nice neutral spine. That will be better for your back. So nice big inhale. Exhale, either curl the pelvis under or hinge back. Sweep one arm back and around, and then scoop to lift all the way back up. So same thing now, but on the opposite side, leaning it back, or you can curl the pelvis under. It's up to you. Reach and scoop and lift all the way back up. And again, leaning back, opening up the chest and lift all the way back up. Planting your feet firmly into the mat as you reach and lift. You have 4 more here. Be careful that you're not just leaning as far back as you can. You want to think about leaning back with control. And it really doesn't take much. So a few inches will help you to engage your abdominals. Let's do 1 more on each side. And lift. Last one, lean and reach and lift all the way back up. So now walking your feet in, roll it all the way down. I think 1 vertebrae at a time, keeping those hips level. Reach all the way back. And now bring your arms down by your sides. You can bend your knees. And we're going into bridging next. So pressing the back of your arms into the mat. Lift your hips on up nice and high and lower back down. Pressing your feet firmly into the mat so you're not rolling out on your ankles. You want to make sure that you're not rolling on the outside of your ankles or letting your arches collapse. Keeping your feet nice and firm and parallel. That's going to help support your knees and your hips. And press to lift and lower. 5 more here. 4, 3, 2. Last one, and release back down. So keeping that neutral spine, you can take both of your legs into tabletop and start by just kind of circling, bicycling your legs so you get that circular motion. You can either stay here on the mat, keeping your chest open and feeling that connection of your rib cage coming in and together. You can also lift your chest. You can take your hands behind your head if you'd like, or you can reach your arms forward and press. And reach. This is 4. And 3. 2. Last one. And then release and place your feet down on the mat. So now we're going to reverse this bicycle. So now take your legs into tabletop and just start to move in the opposite direction. So think about pedaling backwards. You can either have your hands on your hips to find the stability through your lower abdominals. You can also lift your shoulder blades off the mat, or you can take your hands behind your head. It's up to you here. And press. This is 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. And release all the way back down. So now placing your feet firmly on the mat, lift your hips on up nice and high and take your right leg into tabletop. So now you're going to circle your leg, bicycle that leg, and press. Using your breath to help you. One more here. Place your foot down on the mat and lower your hips back down. So now same thing but on the other side. Lift your hips on up and again reach. And press. 2 more. 2 and 1. Place your foot down on the mat. Lower your hips back down. So now we're going to do the same thing again, just reverse. So lift the hips on up high. Pull your knee into your chest. And now circle around and in. And press. 3, 2, and 1. Place your foot down and then lower the hips. Same thing now, but on the opposite side, lift your hips, pull the knee in, reach away and in. 2 more. 2 and 1. Place your foot down, lower the hips. Nice work. Those are not easy when it comes to coordinating what your body is doing with what your mind is telling you to do. So now take your legs into that tabletop position. Open your knees, and from here, keeping your chest open, lower your legs down an inch and up an inch. So you're going into this kind of like open double toe tap position, and you're keeping it really small. So that way you feel the strength through your lower abdominals here. Nice big inhale and exhale. Three, 2, last one. Bring the knees together, lower your feet back down. And now, last ab exercise, take your legs up towards the ceiling. Find that Pilates V, so flex your feet, find that little V position. Now point through your ankles, so you're pointing through your feet, lower your legs down to that challenging spot and do little beats with your heels. Using your breath, you can raise those shoulder blades off the mat. Feeling that connection of your rib cage coming in and together. This is 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Release all the way down. You can hug your knees in towards your chest. And now you can either roll it on up or roll to the side to sit on up. Sweep your legs behind you, so you're gonna lie down on your stomach. Place your hands right underneath your shoulders. Elbows come in by your rib cage, and now lift up your chest, finding that nice extension through your spine, and lower back down. So you're engaging through your back muscles. You're engaging through your glutes slightly as you lift, and then release back down. Again, nice big exhale as you lift on up and lower. One more here. And release all the way down. Now you can either keep your hands underneath your shoulders or take your hands behind your head and lift your chest on up. Lift and lower. So you're working through your back muscles. Try to keep the tops of your feet down on that mat here. Lift and lower. And press. 5 more. This is 5, 4, 3, 2, last one. Place your hands underneath your shoulders, tuck your toes, lift up onto all fours. And now tuck those toes under, lift your hips on up nice and high into that downward dog position. Sending your weight back onto your heels. You may need to walk your hands back a little bit so that way you can work through that lower body. One more breath. Walk your feet in towards your hands this time. Bend your knees and just slowly roll it all the way up, or walk your hands up your thighs in that nice neutral spine so that your head is the very last thing to come back up. Reaching your arms up and overhead. Nice big inhale, and then exhale to release back down. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope you had a wonderful workout, and I will see you next time. Bye.